During the last election, our government promised to legally bind Canada to its commitment of net zero emissions by 2050. This morning, we delivered on that promise with the tabling of Bill C-12, the Canadian Net Zero Emissions Accountability Act.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has just introduced a climate change law he says will reduce our industrial greenhouse gas emissions linked to climate change by 729 million tons by 2050. Okay, to examine that claim, let's look at how the government has done in the first 5 years it was actually in power, from 2015 to 2020. In 2015, Justin Trudeau said that by 2020, our emissions would be lower by 114 million tons. So how's the government done since 2015? Well, it hasn't lowered our emissions by 114 million tons. It's raised our emissions by 9 million tons. So the first target, 5 years out, they've missed by a total of 123 million tons. Why should we care? We should care because the federal government is spending billions and billions of dollars of our money expressly for the purpose of lowering emissions. And they're raising the cost of living to do it. And in the first 5 years of that plan, they've missed the target by 123 million tons. Now, what's in the climate law? The climate law has a plan out to 2050 where presumably we'll be 729 million tons lower than we are today. But the first target the government's going to give us isn't until 10 years from now, 2030, which they're going to tell us in a few months. And then every 5 years, they're going to give us a new target. Okay, what happens if they miss the targets? Nothing happens. The only compulsory part of the legislation is the government has to tell us what the targets are, eventually, report on whether it's meeting those targets. What happens if it doesn't meet those targets? Nothing. There's no enforcement mechanism in the law that would compel the government to lower the targets while they're spending billions of our dollars. And that's why it's not a credible climate change plan. I'm Laurie Goldstein of the Toronto Sun. We're always interested in your views, and please follow us on Facebook and our YouTube channel.